Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? In today's video, I want to continue on talking about voice to skull. And I always talked about no fear mentality. Now I'm going to tell you why no fear mentality is so important. Voice to skull don't stop. Voice to skull can happen at any moment, 24/7, 365 days out of the year. And one thing I learned is we are most vulnerable when we are sleeping. Yes, they do attack us physically when we sleep, but our mind is extremely vulnerable if you don't understand no fear. Now, why is that? When we're conscious, like right now, it's about 2/3 of the day. The remaining 1/3, the 8 hours, is when we're sleeping in general. So for a TI to go about the day in fear, their mind constantly thinking about the negative stuff of gang stalking and who are the gang stalkers, and too scared to go outside or worry about where the gang stalkers are and who are the gang stalkers in public. All those fears throughout the day, it's going to come into play when you're sleeping, because when you're sleeping in your subconscious, you have no defense. And that's when the voice to skull does the most damage. I'm confident to tell you that TIs have very negative dreams. For me, I noticed my dreams are usually set in a dark environment. I had dreams where I would be in a parking lot and then there'll be two gangs on each side having a shootout with me right in the middle. And obviously, I also remember running towards the nearest store, dodging all the bullets. In my dreams, I've been shot at many, many times. And I always remember myself running away from it and able to find my exit out of the situation. Now, I truly believe that I have a lot to do with that no fear mentality when I'm conscious. Because when I go to sleep, I'm bringing with me what's already embedded into my DNA, into my blood, which is no fear mentality against these gang stalkers. So in my dream, I was able to find a solution and find a way out of it. And for the more advanced TIs, the ones that are more aware, you guys know dreams are induced into your head by these gang stalkers. So if you have fear when you're conscious, now's the time to stop living in fear and let those things that are negative and let those worries out of your system. You have to find peace to battle these gang stalkers. You have to stay calm. You have to be logical. You have to experiment different things. If you're not fortunate enough to experiment those things, well, luckily for you, I'm here. Yes, I experimented a lot. And thank God, living where I am, I'm able to do that. Experiment different things. And for those of you with neighbors, literally within 20 feet, you're going to have a difficulty. And my advice to you is slow those thoughts down. Slow the conversation down in your head. Don't have too many thoughts of negative situation or worries. Slow it down. You really need to use some of your energy to generate some of those positive thoughts in your mind. or hang out with your family, or talk to your family, or just do something that you like to get your focus out of it. And recognize when those negative thoughts come in. Because like my last video, if you're focusing, doing something productive, and all of a sudden these negative thoughts come in, try to recognize it. Where did it come from? They're low volume voice to skull. And all it does is try to take your focus away. It's okay. Don't worry about stopping it. Just worry about, sorry, don't even worry at all. That's the wrong word. See, that was a voice to skull to my head right now. Don't worry about stopping it. Just accept the fact that they can induce thought into your mind. So what you need to do is train yourself to counter it with positive reinforcement that empowers your spirit. Don't worry too much about who they are. I know who they are. And by the end of the series, I will show you. So don't worry about it. Just focus on yourself and your own spirit. Now, I'm gonna share a story with you guys. One time, a few years back, I was lying there on the couch and I fell asleep. And I was in a different house. I was in the kitchen. It wasn't my place, it's another house in the kitchen. And my wife was in the kitchen with me. She walked away and it was just me in the kitchen. And I remember I turned my head like this and I said, demons. I turned my head and said, demons. And after I said that, something hit me in the chest and I woke up. Those demons, I call them demons, the gang stalkers, were the same voices that I hear, but they were in my dream. Because they were talking about me or making, I heard one of them laughing, but they were talking about me. So I was in this kitchen, I looked over and I said, demons. And there was no one there. And that's when something hit my chest and I woke up. No fear. You must understand no fear when you're conscious. So when you go to sleep, you have some defense. I hope you have your audio set up, because I've been telling you guys about audios for a while now. Play the audio when you're sleeping, low volume. Or play some type of spiritual music. Because if you go to sleep where it's completely quiet, well, there's still a buzzing sound inside your ear, and the gang stalkers are definitely talking now. They could even talk louder than you ever realize because you're sleeping. And they're going to be able to manipulate your dreams. And you're most likely defenseless, and you're most likely going to have extremely negative dreams. So you don't want to be the TI where you go about your day in fear, and then when you go to sleep, you have fearful dreams. So that's too much fear in your life. No worries. You're in the driver's seat. You just don't realize it yet. And for those of you that do realize, then you know you gotta be special to be the ones going through this. And I will show you exactly why. And you're gonna find new purpose and new understanding in life. Shum Hong, signing out.